Alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosas buenas. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosas buenas. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena.
Welcome back, everybody, to Belize Talk Radio, and we are blessed to be sitting here with Emmanuel. And we just went to break, and before we went, I cut you off, Emmanuel. That was about the Creole language, because he just naturally rolled off with something in Creole, which, of course, you know, if you're not used to the language, your ear bends a little bit trying to understand it, and then you said it in English. But so the Creole, a lot of people don't understand that is another language here, and it is so different. You were just saying, explain that.
Yeah, well, I was saying that it's good that the people can have a chance to listen and be exposed to our Creole here in Belize, because it's a lot different than what they would expect it to sound like the Jamaican accent, and that very Caribbean accent, that edgy type accent that they have, that would sound something like Amon or something like that, you know. But when the Creole kicks in, it's kind of like the British mixed with how to say it? I don't even know. It's kind of like, I can't explain it, but I can speak it for you, and it just sounds different than what you would normally hear as someone say, "Oh, I could speak Creole" or something. And they never. One time I went to the States, and my cousins were like, "Oh man, we gotta hang out and this and that," and they were trying to make fun of these girls, right? And so they started saying, "Oh, we don't gotta look like John Crow," and it was funny because they didn't know what they said, but I felt bad for them, and I told them afterwards, "Yo guys, this is what it meant," and I said, "Bye, Aaron, you mean," and this and that and all that. But it was so good, because after that they become so interested in wanting to learn our dialect, you know. And I think it's really good, because it exposes you to the culture and the way people sound in Belize. It's a whole different thing. It's kind of like you can, if you learn Creole, then you can connect to a lot of the Caribbean music and actually understand the words and the message that they put out there, instead of just the music.
Wow, that's true. It is the words also that are accompanied by the music. And you know, it's true, because many people are moving here with their children. Mm-hmm. There's this trend that I'm seeing with this, and you know, we help them get settled and everything. And then when I speak with them, they're like, "Wow, our children are learning Creole. Mm-hmm. They know English, and they're learning Spanish, and they're like, wow, they're very diverse." Mm-hmm. And I think it's so. You know, Belize is such a melting pot, and we have so many different ethnicities. It's part of what's beautiful about Belize, and I like the Creole language because it is something that when I hear it, it just makes me. It's like it's fun. It's like it's like a light. Yeah. It's like a light conversation. I don't know. It's very interesting.
It's because it's not that formal, and just like how music can connect everyone, and it takes time for some people to get used to a music. It's just like with language. Once you learn it, you can connect with other people, and it creates that unity, you know, to appreciate another culture.
My daughter moved here when she was 14, and she speaks Creole as though she was born up here. And so, you know, when she rolls off with it, she's a you know, long blonde-headed, you know, woman now, and people are like, "How do you speak that?" And like, you know, Angela Gegg, who I adore, she's an artist in Belize City. She does the spoken word, an artist, and a very dear friend. And she, you know, she says that people don't think she was, you know, she's from here, born and raised, and so people think, wow, she's not Belizean. Well, she speaks Creole, and she's Belizean 100%. Very fascinating. But so, what is your mix of your family, and how did you get to Belize? Were you born here?
Yes, born and raised right in Cayo, and like I was telling you last night, my dad is of the East Indian descent, and from more down south of Belize, where a lot of their family are raised up and where they live. But he moved up here to Cayo, and where he met my mom, and my mom's like a redskin, because her dad was German and my grandma was Spanish mixed with Creole. Yeah, and even a little bit of Garifuna, and that's when you guys stop me and be like, "You're just Belizean." That's the best description.
You're just Belizean.
But when they mix together, I guess I'm the product. So
and your brother who's here too, Anthony, who he's lovely too. There's something very special that you all have as far as a spirit and energy wise, and you know, it seems that it is obviously a familial trait, and your parents have done very well. Do you have other brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have two younger siblings, a little sister, and a little brother.
And do they play music?
They're learning, yeah, and they love music. Everything. I swear, my little brother is like a mini me. I should have brought him.
Oh,
Yeah.
we want Mini Me on too. We want Anthony and Mini Me. Yes, that's adorable.
Yeah, and they all can sing too. They like singing. My little sister, I think she likes the keyboard a lot more. So I take the time out to teach them and stuff, you know.
And how did you learn? You said
my
your dad.
dad. Yeah, my dad.
And
taught
then what
me.
about keyboard?
Keyboard. Well, see, I love the music so much that my dad only taught me maybe a couple of chords like G and A, but like I told you, I got bored of playing that, so I started teaching myself other stuff and see how I can recreate other sounds that I hear in everyday life and stuff. And the more you study it, and the more it's just like with sports. If you have a little kid that started playing football from he was 8, by the time he's my age, he'd be like really, really, really good, and people would be like, how are you so good? But it just came with the experience and the time and the learning. So the more I went learning the guitar, the more I wanted to learn other instruments, because there are different sounds that you can make and stuff. And it's just easy. You can transpose one chord from the guitar once you know the notes, and the piano, once you have the chord shapes, it's practically the same thing. Just like the people always say, once you learn the keyboard, that's enough, because you know notes and you know chord structures and you know scales and different stuff. And that's how I treat it with different instruments. I don't only play the guitar, but I play piano in the church, and I can keep a beat and play different roles and stuff on the drums. Play a little of bass too, but that's gonna take a little more time to master, because I don't really have one to practice. But just give me an instrument, I'll practice it and learn it.
That's fascinating. And your father, is he like proud that you are taken up?
I definitely think he's proud, because he only plays the guitar, you know. But I think seeing me, that he could have passed on what he knew to me, and it being manifested through me, is, I would be a proud father if my son was like me. And that's what I intend if I ever have a son.
Oh, that's good. Yes, you want to be proud of your children.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very nice thing to know when you raise children, that you can go, wow, they're amazing.
Yeah.
I feel that with my children, so I know what that's like. So, okay, you write your own songs, and the inspiration obviously comes from within. Mm-hmm. I know that sounds hokey, but it's true.
Yeah.
Where else is it going to come from?
Yeah. Sometimes it comes. Well, it obviously comes from within, because music is whatever you express, whatever you were feeling inside. But if you're asking what influence and what kind of feelings, it comes from different things. It can come from family, it can come from friends, sometimes the environment at school, what you see around. That's why I tell you I'm a very observant person like you, because the more you keep your eyes open, the more you have to say, and your music stays new and fresh and keeps it relative to what's happening in the world today, you know.
Well, your music is beautiful. So I'm going to ask you to actually play one of your originals, if you would, or do you mind sharing that with us?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
You know, listeners, you're going to want to listen in. This is beautiful. So without further ado, you get to play whatever you want.
All right, all right. Can I do 2 songs?
You can do 2 songs.
All right.
But we might have to cut you off and go to a break, but we'll come back.
Okay, no problem. So I'll do the shorter one first then.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So this one's a reggae one, and I think you guys heard this one last night. It's very catchy, and every time I go to Greedy's, people are always like, play that song, play that song. So top of the morning, and I'm going to play this song. Let's see how it goes. Try to see if you can follow the Creole. Anytime you're feeling stressed and you feel like you need to be blessed, clear your mind from all bad thoughts and just go to a better place. Check it out. We go now, oh yeah, we go now to a better place, to a better place. And we float now, oh yeah, we float now. Pray to God, Jah, Buddha and Jehovah. Him love shine bright like a a supernova. It no matter what you call him, when they come to take over. All the evil on the street, all the bad minds how we meet, sending blessings in my life, saving me from all the strife. Yes, my people, stop the knife, stop the hating and divide. It's just one mighty God, the man they are him, not they hide. Got me enlightened in my mind, lyrics flowing all the time, growing and showing and hoping only that the people like my rhymes. They like my rhymes. We go now, oh yeah, we go now to a better place, and we float now, oh yeah, we float now, float away, float away, away. Yes, check it out. I just committed a real mass murder, but it ain't nothing like you ever heard of. No, this is not a crime. Message to all you bad mind. I take where innocent people's lives got a 3.49. All in a school, don't be a fool. It's where the big boys rule. Stop the hating and just be kind to all mankind. Stop the hating and the faking and the baking of your brain. Rape behind the Chinese and dash them in a drain. What the hell were you thinking? Are you insane? There's a need for real change in all the youths, them brain. Spread the positivity, deny the negativity, simplicity in what we say, bring back the peace and unity. Man, open your eye, this is reality. Come with me, make we see what sin we living in. Baby killing papa with a murder, mind for slaughter. The judge be talking fool like left the man on charger. And the mothers on the street, them a ball and holler. No kind of sense left, senseless killing on the street. Gunshot to all you murderers and thieves. Wish you know had it as good as me. We go now, oh yeah, we go now to a better place, and we float now, oh yeah, we float now, float away, float away.
And with that, we're going to break because, wow, I can't top anything. You're listening to Belize Talk Radio, and it's an honor on the Overseas Radio Network.
Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosas buenas. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosas buenas. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena.